So with 10 games or so in the books for most of these teams, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever, it's only natural that we start talking about the MVP award because it's way too early to have that conversation. And that's all we like to do in the media is have conversations that we know we shouldn't be having. So I don't think that the top portion of the MVP ladder is going to come as a surprise to anybody. I think the top three on everybody's board, on everybody's ladder, tier, whatever, is Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, and Luka Doncic in whatever order. That's pretty much the consensus that I've seen. That is my MVP ladder. That is, I think, the last one that I saw on NBA.com had those three arranged in some order. And then even Basketball Reference, their MVP award tracker got it right. Doncic, number one, Giannis at two, Donovan Mitchell at three. Now, it's very rare that I'm in agreement with the Basketball Reference award tracker because it's it's all algorithmic and it heavily favors the advanced numbers, which is why Luka is ahead of Giannis despite Giannis having comparable numbers, being better on defense and also being on the better team. It's because Luka is the better has the better numbers. I'm talking like PER, win shares per 48, box plus minus stuff like that. Luka has the slight edge. And even when you look at like the probability, Luka's at 60% probable to win the award in this algorithm, which I think is not it's not going to be a landslide by any means. But another reason why I don't tend to trust this is because since it is very analytically biased, it favors like some goofy picks. Like I was looking at it yesterday that had Bobby Portis on there, and I'm like, dog, Bobby Portis, man. But it's all because Bobby Portis is, of course, like having a great season. I think he's averaging like 15 and 11 or something. Still young, so all of the advanced metrics look great. But as I'm looking at it today, it looks way more. It looks way more like how you would imagine. Luka, Giannis, Mitchell, Jokic, Tatum. I feel like that is a fine top five. As you guys know, I picked Tatum early in the year, and he's playing well, but I don't. I think at this point I'm not picking him over Giannis or Luka, regardless of how fantastically he's played. And then you get Drew Holiday. Okay, a little weird, but the Bucks are playing well. Whatever. Steph, Pascal Siakam, Lowry Markkinen, and DeJounte Murray. So in a real MVP ladder, something that's done by a human being, you would see Kevin Durant thrown in there. I'm trying to think of who else off top. Um, I mean, I'm sure there would be folks who would put LeBron James in there as well, but I mean, I can't envision a conversation that doesn't include Luka, Giannis, and Donovan Mitchell in the top three, because Giannis is the best player on the best team in the NBA. That will automatically get you into the conversation. Luka is the most anomalous stat line haver while also being on a very good team. I mean, look at this fucking guy, man. 36 points, 8.5 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting 52% from the field. Incredible, like just absurd numbers on a team that is, playing pretty well. And then Donovan Mitchell has good numbers as well. Great numbers, actually. 31.6 assists on a team that is also very good. But he's doing that while being a lower tier superstar. So he's automatically going to be dropped below Giannis and Luka. And also because of like the way that the superstar tiers function in the NBA, I would not be shocked if I saw people throw like Jokic ahead of Donovan Mitchell. If I saw Tatum go ahead of Donovan Mitchell, because their teams are all about the same. Their numbers are all about the same as well. But of course, Jokic is a two-time MVP, and Jason Tatum is arguably the best young player in the league. Under 25, because I think Giannis and Luka are out of that conversation. I know Giannis is. Luka, I don't think. I don't think Luka is. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand on that. I think if I had to pick, if you twisted my arm and told me to pick an MVP right now, I'm going with Giannis. Just because best player on the best team. It's undeniable at this point. Of course, you can make a case for Luka. And if you want to make a case for Donovan Mitchell, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind seeing someone like Mitchell pull off a titanic upset in the MVP race. Because for a guy like Donovan Mitchell to even be considered, you know that he has to put up some crazy numbers. Like he has to have that dog in him. And he is. He's doing that. And it's crazy because he's doing it on a team where he should not be putting up these kinds of numbers. Like you would think it would be a much more balanced scoring effort, but it's really not. I mean, Garland isn't even averaging 20 points a game. I mean, granted his efficiency has been down a little bit, but I think that this is the type of Cavaliers team that we're going to see going forward where there is now very clearly a line separating Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland in that Donovan Mitchell can function as the primary scorer and Darius Garland can play point guard. And that's the offense. Like there's no more trying to figure out who is the top dog because there was some of that between Sexton and Garland, but it's only because they were so similar to one another in terms of talent. Like Donovan Mitchell before this and also very clearly after it is the most superior offensive option for Cleveland. And it doesn't hurt that Darius Garland can also go for 25 while being, someone who sees the floor as well as he does. And then of course you have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, but they're not really contributing that much to the offense in terms of creation, which is fine because, you can just lean on them defensively, which Cleveland is, again, a top 3 defense. And then you have Karis LeVert, who's just kind of like that third guy who's hanging out. He's hanging out. He's along for the ride. The vibes are good. I would love to see what happened if they moved him to the bench and they let him be that sixth man off the bench. And of course, I didn't mention that Darius Garland was hurt. And again, that's, why Donovan Mitchell's numbers have been inflated. But even when Garland came back, like he's still, the numbers that I mentioned are him coming back from injury. So it's even like more remarkable that Donovan Mitchell is able to maintain a 30 plus points per game average with another demon in the backcourt. I mean, it's just incredible.